I said, are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Heavyweight Commentary proudly brings to you the podcast champions of the world. It's my main man, Mr. Breezy. And I'm your boy, Big K-Dawg. And we are
the Heavyweight Commentary.
So,
Yo, what up?
Starting a podcast.
Wow. You know what? I feel like we've been at this for a while, but this is a whole new start.
Yeah. So we have now, I don't wish I could. Oh, I can do that.
Yeah, I like that.
Maybe I have to do it like that.
Yeah, the low light effect.
I looked at that light. Oh,
it's the low light effect.
It makes the skulls in the background stand out more.
Absolutely. It's beautiful.
Okay. So,
yeah.
We got a little something planned for you guys. We're going to start a new series, so you'll be able to find this here on YouTube as well as
TikTok. Pretty much wherever you look at your content, especially, most importantly, though, we are syndicating on Spotify.
Yeah, so if you guys could drop over there, give us a follow, a listen, we'd greatly appreciate that.
1000%. You can get the audio, listen to it on your way to work, wherever, hanging out, grilling, sipping on an adult beverage.
Yeah, and in case you didn't know, this is wrestling conversation. We just talking about what's going on in the world of wrestling today. Something felt weird. I didn't have my baller blockers on.
Oh, my man.
All right. So
we've been talking offline, and of course, the hot topic of this conversation, among many, but I think the hottest that the IWC has been buzzing about is Undertaker and Michelle McCool, his podcast, 6 Feet Under, crossing over into WWE land and getting a bit watered down. It would seem that the dead man has come alive, and perhaps a little too alive.
Yeah, so I mean, and this is my personal take on it.
No doubt.
The cool thing about the Undertaker over the years is he always had that aura of respect. You know, like he was so infallible as a character that you were just like, man, that's the Undertaker.
100%.
And whatever the Undertaker said was gold. You know, what do we used to say back in the day? Word is bond.
Facts.
So to see this now, dude, for me, if you were considering him for Mount Rushmore, I think this takes a hit towards that.
I can't disagree with you, bro. I really can't. I've thought about it. I can understand. All right. I can understand as a married man. I get it. My man has done his thing in his career. He's cemented his legacy. He's done it all. Now's the time for Mark Calloway, the family man, the husband, to more or less take center stage. Having said that, and this is the hard part, and you know this very well, Big K-Dawg, from being an athlete yourself, any pro athlete, anybody who's done anything of note, you're always going to have that level of accountability to your audience. I mean, look at Mike Tyson. You look at Muhammad Ali, in the boxing world, of course. But, you transition to former football players, guys like Shannon Sharp. You can drop names in every sport.
Yeah.
Especially professional wrestling. There's an accountability factor that even today, Undertaker, Mick Foley, Stone Cold, whoever, The Rock, they're always going to be held, John Cena, to a standard that they can't escape from. And so I kind of feel bad for him because, I know he wants to be like, hey, man, Mark Calloway's kicking back, doing his thing now. I don't owe anybody anything. I don't have to prove anything. But you kind of do. And you can't escape it.
Well, I think where the problem is the way all of this came about.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it was like, think about this: 6 feet Under with Mark Calloway is over a year old,
Wow.
right?
Wow.
So they built that from the scratch, from the
100%.
ground up. I can't remember the guy's name who was the co-host, but they were business partners.
Yes.
And Undertaker sold it out from underneath him
Now, wow. I was not aware of that.
without any, he just said, "Hey, we're moving this podcast to WWE." And he was like, "I guess that means I'm out." And he's like, "Yeah."
Wow.
So, and they're still friends, but that's a red flag. And then, Undertaker's on LFG, right?
Yes, indeed.
She makes a guest appearance on one show, and then she removes Mickey James, who is way more qualified to be a coach than Michelle McCool ever could be.
Whew.
And then Michelle McCool comes in, and suddenly she has 2 number 1 draft picks and takes the best 2 people in the show and ends up winning the show.
Yeah, about that.
And then add that to the fact that she, for some reason, mysteriously gets entered into the Hall of Fame when her career by far does not submit herself viable in any way, shape, or form for the Hall of Fame.
And I think that's one of the biggest problems that the IWC has. I personally have with the Undertaker and putting Michelle McCool over, we'll say. The challenge is this, man. You can't go back and retroactively make someone's career that much better than it was. You look at, a tag team like the Usos or Dudley Boys or the Hardy Boys. You don't have to embellish the Steiner brothers. You don't have to embellish. You don't have to embellish, legends. Legends are legends, period.
Correct.
But when you go back and you're like, man, they were so monumental to wrestling, to women's wrestling. You're like, come on, man, we were there.
Yeah. I mean, she was the first women's or first Divas champion, right?
Wow. I don't even know that she could take that credit.
I think she was. I think she was the first Divas champion.
Interesting. I had to look
Divas.
No doubt. I have to look that up.
I think she was. But anyways, even if she wasn't, it's the fact that all that, and then, they start this new podcast, 6 Feet Under with the Undertaker.
Sure.
So now it's it's on WWE's platform. So now it's the Undertaker. It's not Mark Calloway.
Sure.
And the format has drastically changed. It went from Mark Calloway talking about his life on the road with all the guests that showed up.
Sure.
And things that they did together or that they saw, to now a husband and wife team.
Yes.
And a guy that, although you can tell at times he wants to say things, knows that he has to be reserved because his wife is in the room.
100%.
And if you've ever been around that dichotomy, it's an uncomfortable dichotomy to be around.
Sure.
Because when you're trying to have a conversation with someone, a legitimate conversation, and reminisce, you want to reminisce.
Sure.
You don't want that person to be jaded and hold their tongue because their wife's in the room. You want them to remember, hey, man, remember when we went and did this? You're like, dang, dog, I barely remember that.
Facts.
So I think it's created just this icky feeling. And they went as far as to address it on the podcast.
Well, how did you hear that episode?
Yeah. I saw little clips about it, but he was like, I would never use my clout to get my wife anything in wrestling.
Now, I did read that quote elsewhere, yes.
And they were like, listen, this is what it's going to be. If you don't like it, you don't have to tune in. You can go somewhere else, but this is what this is going to be from now on.
I totally get him. I'm not mad at him
I'm mad at him
You
because
know?
it took away a podcast that I like to watch and listen to
Yeah.
and made it dog water.
That's facts. Now, I'll say that I'm not mad at him, and I respect his decision as Mark Calloway. As the Undertaker, I can't get behind it. And the fan in me is always going to say, man, that's the Undertaker. Right? Like, and especially you're the American badass. Like you built this career on being the baddest dog in the yard, the toughest guy. That's who we're going to resonate with. Stone Cold, yeah. Has he had conversations here and there? Hey, baby, grab me a beer, whatever. On his podcast, sure. He talked about, hey, me and wifey went and did this, sure. But by and large, Stone Cold's going to kick it and be Stone Cold.
Yeah.
That's just what it is. That's who she married. With Undertaker, yeah, I think the challenge is, man, his core fan base is going to lose a lot of respect for him. And you can't avoid that. You just can't avoid it.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that's the issue is now you're so far into this that now you're borderline legacy tarnishing.
You're not lying. Well, you remember it started with AJ Styles.
Yeah.
AJ took that shot. You wipe off that old crusty jacket and hat and get back in the ring because Michelle wants you to make some more money. Now, it's well documented now that Michelle McCool took offense to that, even though she knew it was a promo. But could there be any shred of truth to it? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate that.
So I'm going to read you something. I read this. This is just a recap. This is not the actual article.
Yeah.
But this is just a recap. Freddie Prinze Jr. recently shared a story about The Undertaker's influence in WWE.
Yes.
Contradicting Taker's claim that he never used his power to get favors. According to Prince, a storyline involving Michelle McCool dropping the Divas Championship at the Royal Rumble was nixed after McCool spoke with The Undertaker. Prince, who was in WWE writer from 2008 to 2009, stated that he had approval from Stephanie McMahon, Michael Hayes, and Vince McMahon for the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
However, Hayes later told him that the story was scrapped because McCool didn't like it, and she had spoken to The Undertaker, who then spoke to Vince McMahon.
Uh-huh.
The story goes against Undertaker's recent claims that he never used his influence for personal gain. The Undertaker and Michelle McCool have not addressed Prince's claims yet. Prince shared the story on his podcast, Wrestling with Freddie, which originally aired in 2022, but is gaining traction now.
Wow.
So this is not for real. This is not like a new thing.
No, it's not.
This has been going on for a while. And listen, I'm not saying that it's wrong.
No, not at all.
I mean, that's part of the quote unquote benefits package you get from being the main guy. You can say, I'm not doing that, or we're not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
However, you can't go out and say that I never use that to do that when everyone who has a brain cell to rub together, two brain cells to rub together, knows that's what you do.
Perfect.
I mean, look at what stories about Hulk Hogan.
Facts.
I mean, everyone will tell you if Hulk Hogan didn't want to do something, he wasn't doing it. And if you're the Hulk Hogan of your company, you're trying to tell me, nah, I never did that. I never nixed something because I didn't want to do it. I never used my power to get something I want. Come on, man.
Not going to happen. And like you said, anybody who knows. And again, and I think you said it perfectly, man. It's not that, oh, man, now I hate him and now I'm just going to burn all my merch. It's not about that. It's just, I think the fans who really care, we're like, dude, we care so much. And we don't want to see you go down a road that you can't come back from. And then Hall of Fames later, appearances later, Comic Cons later, podcasts down the road. It's like, man, you lost something. And unfortunately, there's no going back, Now, again, respect the family man. Respect everything he's got going on with his marriage. I'm not hating on you. I think any married man at the end of the day is going to make concessions. That's a part of the game. That's how the marriage matrix goes, right? You know, that's how it is. However, if you're the Undertaker, it's going to have a profound effect, and I think it already has.
I agree. And if it's something that is a trending topic, it 100% has a lasting effect.
Wow.
And it's not like this is something that's been going on for the last couple days. This has been going on for a couple months now.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Well, if we live in a world that's driven by content, right? If we were to flip the script all of a sudden with everything we've been doing for the past 3 years here and say, okay, well, now you know what? This is the Choir Boy channel. We're going to drink milk and we're going to sit around and sing Kumbaya. Our core fan base is going to say, bro, that's not Br33zy and K-Dawg.
No.
Who is that? You can't be anybody but you.
Yeah.
So therein lies a challenge, man. I hope that somehow they can recover. I think that if anything, sign Michelle McCool to, obviously you got her LFG, sign her to some kind of deal where she can be a correspondent. She can do other things and let Undertaker rock that, because at the end of the day, and just being straight up brutal, we're there to hear the Undertaker.
Yeah, I don't want to hear Michelle McCool's opinion on anything.
Yeah, and that's not hating on her, taking nothing away from her.
Oh, no, it's 100%. I really just do not care what she has to say.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm not hating on you.
I have zero cares to hear her mouth in a sentence.
Doesn't mean that.
Yeah, I'm not. If I wanted to listen to that, I would sign up for a podcast of married life between Mark and Michelle.
There you go. Exactly.
I don't want to listen to that. I don't care about that. I want to listen to the Undertaker tell stories about his life in the wrestling business.
Facts.
That's why I started watching that podcast.
Facts. You flip the script, and you're gonna get what you get.
And it's funny too. Like I showed you the other day, and I just noticed this because somebody else pointed it out. But if you look at the thumbnails, and the views on the video, the thumbnails that have her prominent on the thumbnail are the lowest viewed videos in the series. And if you go in and look at the comments, it's a complete slam fest the whole time.
You know it. And we talk about this. The challenge with WWE is this. I honestly think that they don't care.
I'm gonna say, hold on now.
Yeah.
Because they just released a statement that they are bringing in new creative people to change the roles in creative, because obviously everyone has been saying that the content has been stale all year long. So they're keeping Road Dogg as the head of writer of SmackDown, but they're bringing in a whole different crew to help bolster SmackDown and other shows.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think that they're concerned about the YouTube views like that per se.
Yeah.
If the metrics of watch time, engagement are there, because then of course they can say, well, hey, look, it's getting eyeballs on it. It's getting people talking about it. Hey, maybe it's not as many unique views, but look what we're generating and look how many people are engaged.
Yeah, but you're gonna lose sponsorship opportunity if your views keep going down.
I agree. It's a dangerous game to play. It is a dangerous game to play. I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. Speaking of dangerous game, my guy, we had NXT versus TNA Showdown.
Great show,
man.
Here's something I'll say.
Yes,
they should take whoever writes for NXT and have them write for all of WWE.
Agreed.
Because NXT is by far and I don't care what you say, even if you include PLEs, I'll take a Tuesday night show over most PLEs for WWE.
Let him cook. Let him
It
cook.
is by far the best program in WWE.
Wow. Wow. You know what? I can't argue with that. I really cannot argue with you, Big K-Dawg. Every time I watch NXT, I sit down and say, okay, I'm going to commit to watching this program because I try to focus on, I want to get the main programming in every week. Top notch.
Yeah, I mean, think about this. You've got 90% of NXT. I mean, there's obviously some people that they brought in from other companies. You got All Ego Ethan Page, Ricky Saints, Blake Monroe, Jordan Grace, right? You got those people.
Legit.
The rest of them are homegrown.
Facts.
Or mostly homegrown.
Facts.
They're young kids who came out of college and wanted to be wrestlers or who were college athletes on NIL deals. And now they're trying to make it in the wrestling game. And you've like, look at Jada Parker, how much she's grown as an individual.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she, to me, is on the precipice of greatness.
Man, yo.
She's right there.
Jada. Oh, man. I got a lot to say about Jada in that Survivor Series style match.
And then the other one, who's the girl that's with JC Jane all the time?
Doggone. Not Fallon Henley.
Yeah.
Fallon Henley. Okay. All right.
I don't know why Fallon Henley hasn't been called up to the main roster yet.
Fallon Henley's dope now.
She is a good worker. She sells unbelievable.
Yes.
And she knows how to work the crowd.
No doubt.
And to you know, it's historic, my disdain for Lyra Valkyria. To see someone like Lyra Valkyria who just looks out of place a lot, get called up and get pushed the way she's getting pushed. It's like, what are you guys watching? You got Sol Ruka.
Yes.
You called up Lyra Valkyria before you called up Sol Ruka.
You know, WWE historically, and you know this from guys and girls who have left the company, they will book people according to what creative says, oh, I got something for that character. Whether or not that might be, that's the best character, whether or not even, they may not be over. Let's put it that way. They may not be over at all. But the fact that creative says, you know what, man, I got something for him. I got something for her. Oh, thank you. I got something for them, right? That is a huge factor. Whereas you and I will say, okay, dude, that character's mad over. That character's crazy over. Why not book, like LA Knight, for example? If creative says for some reason we don't have anything, then they're just like, well.
Okay, but here's my problem with that.
Yeah.
If they don't have anything for LA Knight, why has he wrestled more matches than anyone in WWE this year?
That's what doesn't make sense. Stuff like that don't make sense.
More matches than anyone in WWE.
Yeah.
How do you do that? The other side of the coin is you have Roxanne Perez, who's an all-world talent, and you bring up Lyra Valkyria first.
There's some things that make you go,
Could it be that a top power couple use their influence to forward the career of a fellow countryman?
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Because we don't want to point that out, that she used to wrestle in the same place that Becky Lynch did.
If she wrestled in the same place that Becky Lynch did, that means that she probably was connected with Finn Balor as well. So there you go. There you go. NXT Showdown kicked off with Matt and Jeff Hardy, the Hardy Boys versus Dark State.
I like the way they put this match together.
Yes.
They started with Dark State jumping them in the ring. Then the Hardy Boys kicking him out. The referee throwing the two guys out that weren't supposed to come out to the ring.
Absolutely.
That was a great start to that match. I thought the match was well put together. I didn't think that I thought that they were able to hide the limitations of the Hardy Boys very well.
That's exactly how I felt about that match, 100%.
They didn't look like some of the highlights that you've seen from AEW or TNA shows where they're missing moves and you're just like, man, they look old.
Yeah.
There were spots where you're like, man, they look old. But Matt's been stiff for a few years.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Now Jeff is starting to look his age.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought they did really well.
Man, the whole match, because I'm just like you. I'm watching and I'm like, it's one of those things where you kind of cringe and you're saying, I really don't want these guys to look old. I don't want these guys to come across as a nostalgia act to where it hurts the match.
Yeah.
But for one night, I think we got some of the best work out of the Hardys that we could get in 2025. I mean, it's to the point where, I posted a little short that said, is this 2025? The Hardy Boys win the NXT tag titles?
Yeah, I just knew that they were going to give it to Dark State. And I in my mind, this is what they were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's 4 of these guys.
Yep.
They could intertwine 2 and have 2 on NXT and 2 on TNA.
Good point.
And I was like, man, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
For one time, the idiocy of WWE makes sense.
But at the same time, I would say this: the Hardy Boys are such a brand in WWE. I think that's why WWE didn't have a problem pulling that trigger, because notice, they weren't the Hardys, they weren't the Hardy brothers or whatever you want to call them elsewhere. WWE is like, hey, these are our guys, the Hardy Boys.
And they came out to the old theme too.
Exactly. So WWE
with the old symbol and the old Titantron stuff.
That signals to me that WWE says, I think we got another cash grab out of these guys. If we can work it right, we can.
Well, think about what happens next.
Yeah.
Now you have a match between the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys at TNA Bound for Glory.
Absolutely.
And now to prove who is the best tag team champions ever, and the Hardy Boys own both the titles.
Yes.
So it's going to be Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys, and does the winner take all the titles?
To my knowledge, it's a non-title match. Now, I don't know if they're going to throw that stipulation in. Could be. It could happen. As far as what they're billing it, it's one final table, Hardy Boys, NXT and TNA Tag Team Champions versus the Dudleys. But I've not seen any advertisement of a title match.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, they could throw that in, later on to juice Bound for Glory up. Maybe this week. Could happen. Nevertheless, man, I think, the Hardy Boys showed up and showed out, man. Proud of those guys.
And new.
Did it up. Did it. All right, the NXT Women's Champion, JC Jane, and NXT Women North American Champion and Speed Champion, So Ruka, they led their team in NXT in the women's match.
I have a problem.
Yeah.
It's been an ongoing problem for me, and I've said it before on here, and I'm going to say it again.
Yeah.
And I don't care if I catch flack for this.
What up?
Kalani Jordan has the personality of a broomstick.
I knew at some point that was coming up.
And they keep trying everything they can do to make her look good. And she keeps, excuse my language, shit in the bed.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, they did everything possible to make that girl look good.
You're not lying.
And she still didn't look good.
You think so?
Yeah, I think that they keep. Here's the gymnast.
Yes.
Okay, she does a backflip and she misses everybody, and lands with her feet on the ground behind everybody. And then you have Sol Ruka do a back handspring into a backflip and takes out everybody, and then lands on her feet, and is like, ta-da!
To that point, I will not argue with you. When she overshot that original dive, I was like, oh man.
And then, like the one-of-a-kind split-legged moonsault
Yeah.
is not a one-of-a-kind split-legged moonsault.
100%.
So, like, they're doing all the little things that they can try to do to make her stand out, even calling her at one point the standout.
Uh-huh.
She stands out because she's bad.
Wow. I wouldn't say Kalani Jordan's bad. I would say
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll say that.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not bad. She is not good enough to be in the position she's in.
To your point, I can respect that. I can respect that. I think Kalani Jordan, when I think of a gymnast, right? Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton, high-level gymnasts, execute their maneuvers. They can do it with their eyes closed. I believe Kalani Jordan can also do all the stuff. It's just, as many legends have attested to, just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
Well, that's my thing. She might be a world-class gymnast.
Yeah.
Granted, she went D1. Okay, great. Awesome. Love it. However, you're not a wrestler.
Whoa! Hot take. Hot take. Wow.
Can
That's
she
crazy.
get there? Yeah, but it's always going to be awkward.
Wow. That brings about a great point of, is WWE doing so much recruiting in these different areas to try to, bring in top athletes that they're not grooming wrestlers per se?
We talked about this before.
Yeah.
They're not in the business of creating superstars anymore.
True.
So think about this. Think of all your people that were huge. Austin, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Diamond Dallas Page, Hulk Hogan, Iron Sheik, all these guys. They spent years
Yes.
traveling around the world, developing their talent before they got to the WWE.
100%.
The WWE was considered the premier spot to be, and only the best of the best were there.
Facts.
Now you're polluting the system by bringing in all these people who, case in point, Jasmine Nix, are not really wrestling people.
Mm-hmm.
They just are there for the money and the exposure.
Uh-huh.
And there's no love. Like, you can tell the people who love wrestling, and you can tell the people who are there because it's a deal.
Sure.
They're robotic. They don't understand. Again, they don't understand where to be in the ring, how to carry themselves. That selling looks manufactured. It doesn't look real. And it's no offense against them. They're just not at the level they should be to be in the position they're in. When you and I go to indie shows and we see all this talent that you're like, why is this person not there? And you've got Kalani Jordan, who should be in the independents learning the craft.
Sure.
For $60, $70 a night, figuring out whether or not you truly love it and where you want to, if you want to be there or not.
Sure.
Or have someone like Nikki Blackheart, who is busted her butt on the independent scene to become a champion on the independent scene and truly has love for the wrestling business.
Oh, yeah.
Or, pick someone. Ashley the Daddy Hunter, 13 years in the game on the independent scene. She don't do it because it makes her a ton of money, because I know she's not balling living in a 47-room mansion.
Sure.
She does it because she loves being a wrestler. And there's something to say about that, whether or not you're at that level, but those people will progress to a higher level than the people who are there just to collect a paycheck.
Oh, I agree with you 1,000%. You can tell Soruka, crazy standout in this match. I don't know that Soruka missed a beat one time.
The only thing she missed was the last Soul Snatcher. She missed Kalani Jordan, and I blame that on Kalani being too far back out of place.
That's fair. That's because I noticed the arm was extended, like she like barely caught her.
She barely grabbed, was able to get her head to do the Soul Snatcher.
No doubt, no doubt.
Why? Because Kalani moved back.
That's fair. That's fair. Soruka killed it. Shout out Jada Parker. Man, I love Jada Parker. Like you said, she is just getting it.
Yeah.
From start to finish.
And the crowd loves her.
100%.
The whole time she's in there. Miss Parker. Miss Parker.
Man, she's owning it.
And look, Lola Vice. Shout out to Lola Vice. Lola Vice started in CCW here in Florida.
No doubt.
Started in Miami at CCW and worked her way up through the system and is now in contention for the women's world champion in NXT.
Lola Vice. Man, outstanding performance. I think all around. Team NXT, outstanding performance. I love Team TNA, though. I always love to see the Inspiration, a.k.a. the Iconics.
I noticed that one of them looks the same. She just has lighter hair, but I couldn't tell that the other one was Billy Kay.
Bro, Billy Kay, very crazy transformation.
Yeah, I was like, that's Billy Kay?
Transformation from you're like, what the heck? I had to be like, wait a second.
I thought it was somebody else and they were just calling themselves the Icon.
Yeah. Nah. Peyton Royce looks like Peyton Royce.
Yeah, she just looks like Peyton Royce with blonde hair.
Yeah, Billy Kay it's so dramatic to see her light hair. She's a little bit more fair when she's usually tan and dark hair. No doubt.
And she looks like she's lost weight too and got in a lot better shape.
Oh man, yeah.
Not that she was in bad shape before.
Yeah.
She was what you would call a full-figured woman before, or
really Billy Kay?
No, not full-figured, but she wasn't like super lean, and she leaned out a lot.
Yeah, no doubt. They both take their fitness serious. Man, love to see them because to me, the Iconics actually set up women's tag team wrestling.
100%.
They get mad credit because before women's tag team wrestling wasn't really a thing. Even when they released tag titles, tried to make it a thing. But the Iconics were truly tag team from the start. They had a great performance in the match. I think overall it was good to see Marisade. Of course, I like how Vic Joseph said you got some metaphors for this one. Like very slick.
Yes.
Very slick there, Vic Joseph. I caught that. But no doubt, man, back and forth, great match. Love how they got down to the drama toward the end. And then, of course, Soruka with the Soul Snatcher. Kalani Jordan facing impossible odds. And the tale of her being the traitor. I think all around the layers in that match, like you said, that's what NXT holds above the other WWE product.
Yeah.
Great layers to the whole match. But nevertheless, the winners, we had Team NXT go over. And a little drama at the end, Big K-Dawg. A little drama. JC Jane snuck in.
Yeah. But you know what, dude? That fits her profile.
Yes.
That fits her profile. A little snake.
Yes.
Just slide in there, take the victory, take the credit, be like, look what I did. Yeah, I won. And she got beat up a lot in that match.
Yes, she did. She did.
But that plays into, I look back at the greatest heel champions of all time.
Yeah.
Name number one case in point. Right there, bottom right hand of the middle top shelf.
Oh, yes.
Richard Flair.
You know it.
The slimiest, most beatable champion in the history of wrestling.
Oh, yeah.
And has more title wins than anybody in wrestling. He was the king of sliding out at the last second, getting the disqualification,
yo.
so he retains the pause. Kind of, sort of, not really a pause, but
Yeah.
a little double entendre there.
Yeah.
But he was the king of the dirty moves. That's why they called him the dirtiest player in the game.
Absolutely.
He was the slickest champion that did what he needed to do, but he was so beatable the whole time
Yes.
that he was a champion, and nobody could beat him.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what made his title reign great. And I think, at first I was like, why did they put the title on JC Jane?
Sure.
And to beat Stephanie Vaquer.
Yeah, man.
It was like, this is who you beat Stephanie Vaquer with? JC Jane? And now after the title run, I'm like, this is a great title run.
Yeah.
As a heel, it is a great title run. She's peacocking all around the back, puffing her chest out. I'm the greatest ever.
Yes.
I'm the best in this company, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, wow, they saw something that I didn't see.
No doubt.
And I never thought that I always liked her. I mean, I liked her in Toxic Track or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Fatal Attraction or whatever.
Yeah, Toxic Attraction. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was before whatever
Not
they
a
are
Fatal
now.
Influence.
Yeah. I thought she was great there.
She was.
But I thought, that's the limit,
Yeah.
She's done what she could do, because they put her in a couple matches against your girl, the orange-haired girl. And it never really great. It was good, not great.
Sure.
But the work she's done as champion, man, like as a heel, if you respect what heels do, or what a true heel is like, oh man. And for those of you who are just listening for the first time, face is good guys, heel is bad.
Yeah, man. What I love about JC Jane is that JC Jane is like that girl that you're like, bro, she ain't all that, but she think that she worth $1 million. You can't tell her no different. She's the hottest girl in the room. She could steal anybody's man.
Oh yeah.
She has confidence to the max that you're like, JC, listen, if you were any more confident, I'd be concerned that you had a pair of Huevos Rancheros up underneath them boy shorts.
Big, drastic brass ones.
No doubt, because she just owns the room. And what's beautiful about that is she makes you absorbed into it. You're like, dang, JC Jane, like you said. I was like, okay, Toxic Attraction, that was the limit. Then seeing JC Jane really stand out on her own, and lead her own faction. I'm like, I really do believe this girl. She makes you drink her Kool-Aid. That's amazing.
Yep.
We had an NXT North American champion, Ethan Page versus Mustafa Ali. This was supposed to be a redemption match for Mustafa Ali. He said he should have won the North American Championship some time ago. He obviously went over to TNA. Now he's back to right all the wrongs of the past. To be honest, I hit the high notes of the Hardys and then the ladies, and then coming into this match, I wanted to be more into it, and I wasn't. And that's no fault of the guys, no fault of Mustafa, no fault of Ethan Page. I think I was just kind of coming down from the high, and they were just in a spot in the card that was difficult.
Yeah, it's great that you point that out. One of the things that you have to think about when booking a show is crowd interaction.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing that AEW has such a hard time with, because their shows are so long. You take the crowd to a high spot, and then you bring them back down, and a high spot, and you bring them back down, and a high spot, and you bring them back down. By the time they get towards the end, man, they're emotionally drained.
Sure.
4 hours, 5 hours of that, and you're just like, oh my gosh.
Yes.
Like, I'm spent just here watching. Like, I'm done. And I think that's what happened last night. Exactly to your point, is we were so emotionally invested in the Hardys.
Yeah.
And we were so emotionally invested in that women's match that by the time Mustafa Ali and All Ego Ethan Page got in the ring, we were just like, man, I need a break.
For real.
Like this, they would have had to put on the match of the century
Yeah.
in order to make it anything good. And they didn't do a bad match.
Not at all. Not
it was
by
a
anything.
great match. It was back and forth. You never knew who was going to win. It was constant, action the whole time. It was just emotionally, I was unavailable for that match.
Yeah, I kind of needed a little departure, and like you said, they were in that spot. They happened to occupy that. I'm coming down, and I'm like, man, dang. I felt bad because I like Mustafa Ali a lot. I think WWE, unfortunately, somehow wasted him. I don't know how. There's some guys like that. I don't know why. But you couldn't do anything with him, especially when he had the heartbeat gimmick, the Iron Man stuff going on, the pulsating lights and all that. I thought he was brilliant to market that to kids. You can't sell a kid a doggone light that goes rainbow colors. Come on now. So I don't get it. Nevertheless, Mustafa Ali did not get his redemption. Ethan Page defeated him. We had then Team TNA.
I think too, though.
Yeah.
If you really want to talk about the dynamics of the whole thing, you've got 1-1 already.
Sure.
You've got 4 matches on the card.
Yeah.
You've got 1-1 per company right now as far as victories go.
Sure.
So what do you do with that match?
Yeah.
If you let Mustafa Ali win, then you pretty much guarantee that NXT is going to win.
Sure.
Now that Ethan Page won, you don't know.
That's a great point. Wow. That is a great point. I didn't look at that.
If you're looking at the dynamics of the show and the continuity of the show, you don't know who's going to win at that point.
Huh. I like that perspective. And no, you're right, man. You kind of build up to that final match of, oh, shoot, like, we're down. It's like, bottom of the knife, you know what I'm saying? You get that feeling like, oh, man, what could it be, or you got that boxing match where it's, the champ has got so many rounds and you're like, could the underdog pull this one off? It
was honestly, it was like watching the Canelo Crawford fight.
Yeah.
Either one of them could have won, and who you wanted to win. But the person that you wanted to win, towards the end, you were like, I don't know if he can pull this out.
Exactly. Team TNA versus Team NXT. This was quite interesting, man, the way things played out. I mean, of course, new NXT champion leading the way in Ricky Saints. Man, shout out to Ricky Saints. So proud of the kid for taking a gamble on himself and leaving AEW to go to NXT and really paying dividends. That's pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, and here's the difference. Okay, let's look at the comparisons here.
Yeah,
Kalani Jordan and Ricky Saints.
Oh, wow.
Both were in similar situations. It was 3-1 and 4-1.
Yes.
Ricky Saints got it down to 2-1.
Yes.
And he looked good the whole time.
Yes.
Where Kalani Jordan didn't quite necessarily.
I think what it is this. Kalani Jordan has a difficult, and I like Kalani Jordan. Is the problem. I like her a lot, but she needs, if anything, to sit under the Cody Rhodes learning tree. And I say that because as a babyface, you have to learn to build sympathy. I don't see that in her. I don't see her building sympathy where you say, man, Kalani, oh, if you just please, you're waiting for her to fire up. Oh, Kalani, you can do this. It's kind of like indifference.
Yeah.
If she loses, she loses. That's
Well,
sad.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like she's not displaying being a wrestler.
The psychology isn't there.
She's going through the motions. Go back and look at it and look when they're walking. She looks awkward holding the belt walking. How, as a champion, do you look awkward holding the belt?
Wow. You know what it is? There's some who own the wrestler persona, own their character, and some who are caricatures of a character.
Yeah, there's some people who are playing a character, and there's some people who are the character.
100%.
And she is playing the character.
Yeah.
And it's not believable whatsoever.
Yeah. Unlike Ricky Saints, who, absolute Ricky Saints, like you're like, dude, this kid has all the confidence. He has the swagger. He's been compared to a young Rock. You know, the kid is gold. I saw that in AEW. I was like, man, and especially, you know, him going up against the likes of Cody Rhodes in AEW, you saw that he could mix it up with the greats. So Ricky Saints got a bright future ahead of him. Nevertheless, man, your man Trick Williams did him dirty.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I mean, if you look at the interactions between Trick and TNA, the TNA locker room does not like him.
Of course not.
Now he sold out the NXT locker room. Is he on the island of irrelevancy now?
Gonna be very interesting what happens.
I mean, we said it before. They missed the opportunity to bring him to the main roster when he was nuclear hot.
100%.
He's cooled off quite a bit now.
Oh yeah.
The aura is not there anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, I would go as far as say is he's in Carmelo Anthony territory.
Your boy.
Or not Carmelo Anthony, but whatever.
Carmelo Hayes. Yeah.
Carmelo Hayes, yeah. He's in Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Anthony's an NBA player.
Yeah.
He's in Carmelo Hayes territory now. He's good, but he's kind of a punk.
Yeah, he ain't him. And Carmelo ain't even him.
No.
But the funny thing is, now I like Carmelo probably a little bit more than I like Trick.
Yeah, you know, the whole I really, you know, if he ever said to me, keep your mouth shut while grown folks are talking, I'd punch him dead in the nose as hard as I could. I'm a man, dog. You're not finna disrespect me like that. I don't even care if this is a work or not. You're not finna tell me to keep my mouth shut while grown folks are talking.
Well, I like that.
You know, it's false. It's false arrogance.
Sure.
Like when he was white hot, he wasn't acting like that.
Sure.
Now that he's got this, I don't know, slimy character, like it's not him.
I mean, he's definitely Trick Willie. He's projecting that.
But it's he's playing the character of Trick Willie.
I can agree with that.
And when he was Trick Williams,
yeah,
he was way better.
I can agree with that. Absolutely. Trick Williams walked out. Ricky Saints went for the hot tag. Trick left, thus turning his back on NXT. He is a TNA champion after all. And it's interesting we have that same dynamic in both matches. Kalani Jordan was the proverbial traitor. Then Trick Williams is on Team NXT, but then he turns traitor.
And how do you have the NXT champion or the TNA champion on Team NXT? Like, that don't even make sense.
Exactly.
Granted, why would you have Trick Williams when you have Obafemi? No offense, but why would you have little baby Orton when you have Obafemi?
You know what it is?
Why would you have Javon Evans when you have Obafemi?
You know what it is? They're buttering Oba up and warming him up, massaging him for that main roster debut. And they don't want nothing to happen before that happened.
I mean, I would have taken Obafemi if it were me and I was choosing NXT talent
Yeah.
to fight TNA talent. I would have took Ricky Saints.
Come on.
I would have took Obafemi.
Come on.
Let him cook.
Say what you want, but I would have taken Tony D'Angelo.
Woo.
Because I don't know where he's been. I don't know if he's hurt or what's going on.
Yeah.
But if he's available, I would have taken Tony D'Angelo. And then, it really doesn't matter the last spot. Then you could take a Javon Evans.
Sure.
Or what about Tavion Heights?
Yeah.
That kid's balling right now. What about Josh Briggs?
I was gonna say, man, Josh Briggs would have to be on my squad.
He's killing the game right now.
Josh Briggs would have to be on my squad. 1,000%.
I mean, I thought that they set themselves up to lose. I mean, in theory, Moose should have been able to beat all them guys by himself.
You're not lying. What former
except for Ricky Saints.
I mean, he's like a 10-time TNA champion, something crazy. That dude has been putting in work for years.
Yeah.
Gotta put some respect on Moose.
And then just to have, Trick Williams walk out, it was like I watched all the way through this show for you to do that. And I love that. I love that the announcer was like, Booker, what's wrong with your boy?
Yes.
Is this right?
Yeah.
Why is he doing this? Well, I didn't know he was going to do that. That's your man's.
That's your man, Book. Come on, Book.
That's your man's and them's. Why ain't you glazing him now like you did all the rest of the time?
Wow. So coming off of this, Trick Williams.
Pause.
Oh, yeah, pause. Yo, that's wild. Trick Williams going into Bound for Glory. Does he lose to Mike Santana and the TNA title revert back to a TNA talent?
I think he should. I don't think he will, but I think he should.
If I am being 100% honest, I don't buy Mike Santana being the guy to defeat Trick Williams. And you know what? I think I'm biased because I'm used to seeing Mike Santana along Ortiz.
LAX?
Yeah, proud and powerful. They were LAX at one point. They were this and that. I'm not buying Mike Santana as a breakout single star. That's my bias.
See, and here's the deal. I didn't watch TNA that much.
Yeah.
So to me, I think he looks good.
I think, and then not to mention, it's probably guilty by association. They were running with Eddie Kingston for a minute.
Say less. That would be like somebody tagging with Lyra Valkyria. They're terrible.
It hurts me. I like Mike Santana. I liked him as a tag team wrestler, but it's just kind of like, Bully Ray, I think took off. Devon did some things. He got Batista out there. Even Triple H jobbed to him at one point. But by and large, Bully Ray was the bigger breakout star.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? It's Jimmy and Jey Uso. It's that dynamic for me. I don't see him being that single star to carry TNA, whereas Moose all day long. Throw Moose in the mix.
Yeah, but you've already jobbed him to Trick, 2 times?
That is fair. That's the problem. They hurt themselves on that note.
In order to try to make Trick look believable, you jobbed out your top star to him.
No doubt. Joe Hendry, man. I mean, but Mike Santana, that's tough for me. That's a tough one. But hey, it's going to be what it's going to be. I think Mike Santana will go over at Bound for Glory. Yeah. Wow. Just wow.
Well, listen, we're at an hour.
Woo!
It didn't seem like it, but we're at an hour.
Woo!
I know we had some other things we wanted to talk about.
Woo! Crown Jewel.
Do you want to go with that, or do you want to pause because we need to go to the live stream now?
I tell you what. I'm a rapid fire. I'm gonna throw these names at you for Crown Jewel.
Okay.
You tell me who's going over, who's not. We'll rock and roll.
Okay.
Crown Jewel predictions. Here we go. Starting from the bottom, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Asuka and Kairi Sane. Who you got?
I think Asuka's going to win.
Ooh. You think Kabuki Warriors got this?
I think that's the writing on the wall.
I would agree with you. I think they need to go over to continue the feud.
Correct.
Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. Who you got?
Bronson Reed.
Wow. Australian street fight. Should favorite Bronson Reed? I don't want to see it happen, but
I think I think in order to continue the feud,
yeah,
because of what we're coming up on what's the Survivor Series pay-per-view?
Yes.
So if they're going to do War Games again, or if they're going to do a traditional Survivor Series type match, then you got to have heat still.
Yes.
And if Roman wins, it kind of squashes that heat a little bit.
That's facts.
So if you're going to carry this into Survivor Series, then Bronson Reed has to win.
Definitely Bronson Reed with the assist of Braun Breaker and the vision. 100%. Yep. I'm with you. John Cena versus AJ Styles.
John Cena.
John Cena all day long, with maybe at the end an interruption by Brock Lesnar.
Okay.
WWE Crown Jewel Women's Championship match. Tiffany Stratton versus Women's World Champion. Let me rewind that. Put respect on her name. WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Stratton versus Women's World Champion Stephanie Vicaire. Who you got?
I think Stephanie Vicaire wins.
You know, if all the stars align.
She's still riding the rocket ship.
She really is. If all the stars align, La Primera will be victorious. But I'm torn. I'm more torn than probably any match I've seen in a long time.
I wouldn't be mad either way.
No.
I have a feeling that they're just going to make Stephanie win.
No doubt. WWE Crown Jewel Championship match. The undisputed WWE Champion Cody Rhodes versus the World Heavyweight Champion Seth freaking Rollins. Who you got?
Seth Rollins. He's got to win.
He really needs it.
If he loses, Paul Heyman said it. If you lose, I start to question whether or not I made the right choice. If you lose, no one's going to believe that your vision is true for where we're going with the WWE.
What if Seth loses, then Brock and the Bronze beat him down?
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of fantasy booking we can do in that.
Yeah.
Whole lot. But no doubt. Crown Jewel predictions, y'all. Who y'all got? Do this, guys. Hit us up. Make sure you interact with the content. Drop us a line on Spotify.
Share it, like it, subscribe, everything.
Absolutely. Drop it here on YouTube. Any short form content we make elsewhere, whether that be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, everywhere. Let us know what you think, because that's the foundation. We can spitball all day long, but one thing is for sure, you, the Heavyweight Nation, are the ones who get your voice heard, and we want to hear what you have to say. With that, we're signing off, y'all, for the Heavyweight Commentary Podcast. Love, peace, and chicken grease.
Stay heavy, baby.
Stay heavy.